Hi, and welcome to this video. My name is Alejandro Rondon, I'm a pre-sales engineer at Centreon, and today I want to talk about maps. So, you have implemented a full monitoring solution. Great, that's the first step. But now, what are you going to do with all the data, with all those metrics, HODs, and KPIs that there's with? If you really want to make sense of it, you need visualization. You may need to show this in a very graphical way so you can instantly understand what's going on in your infrastructure. This is especially important as well if you want to share this information with directors or other business users that might just want to know how everything is going. So you can view this with a little, maybe a weather map for your application, so you know the status of the different applications, or a topological view of your network, so you can see how different switches and network equipment are connected. Or you can even see it in Geo Map, so you can actually see from the continental level to a street level how your equipments are going, in which address they are. So for that, I want to show you about how to create these maps using the MAP module. You're going to see that it's very easy. It's just simple drag and drop, and we can create some very nice maps that are actually custom tailored for you and your team's needs. So now, without further ado, let's create some maps. So here you can see my platform is not mine, is the Centreon pre-sales team cloud platform. We have a lot of hosts, and as we talked earlier, we have a lot of data, we have a lot of metrics, we have a lot of alerts and information that we're running, which is perfect if we want to actually debug the information and want to fix an alert or any information that we might receive. But it's not very easy to understand. So for that, let's create a map. And we go to the map module. So here I'm going to create a new map. It's going to be based on the Acme company use case, or so it's a fake company. But we are going to see everything that we want to create for them. And as you can see here, we have the web editor for maps. And you have everything you need. You have all your shapes. So either some basic shapes like widgets and images and shapes. And you also have some Centreon resources that you can use. Your hosts, your host groups, your maps, your BAM, etc. And on the right, you have there is the format for your information. So for example, the colors, text, polys, etc. So let's start with a simple view. I'm gonna first want to use a little quick view of a topological map. So let's say we're going to see the connections between two servers, two routers. So I'm gonna first add my two routers. I'm gonna say, for example, I'm going to use the Acme host groups. So we're going to perform the search. While this is performing the search, of course, we can see them very easily with all the information. So here, for example, I have on London, I can have my firewall in London, and I can also add my firewall in Paris that I have available. So here I can see all the information. I can add them directly to the maps. So once that we have them here, I'm going to slide them a little bit around, and I'm going to put a little link between them. Of course, if we want to see a topological view, we have to show what's the connection between them. So for that, we can use a link. So I'm going to use the link status, and I'm going to connect from this router to this firewall, and I'm going to select the data that I'm going to use here. So edit data. I'm going to say that is a service, and I'm going to say that is the service from my Paris firewall, and it's going to be the ping. It's going to be a simple one. It's just to check that the connection is valid in between them. So now we save and we exit, and we can see the two hosts, the two firewalls that we have, and the ping connection between them. Perfect, is a good example. And now let's create another one. Let's create another type of view, the weather app application, the weather status for So I'm going to add a little shape. So I'm going to add a little rectangle here, just to create a little margin, a real section, a small section. And I'm going to add the text, let's say apps, to see. And now I want to add the apps that we have. I'm going to change, let's say I'm going to change the color here, the format of my line. I can send the field or the line, etc. I can change all of that I might need. So for example, I can remove this line, the edge. Example, just you can see the options that you have. If you already created something in PowerPoint or Visio, you know how this works. So let's add our applications that are in Paris, in the Paris host group. So we have 2 billing applications, 2 billing servers, and we have 1 CRM and 1 ticket, and we add them to the map. So we have them already here. I'm just going to add them in a nice 2x2 matrix, and I'm going to select them all and glide them here to the center of the application. Now I just want to change the type of icon that we're gonna see. As we saw before, for our routers, we have the icons of the routers. Here I want to show them that, as we said, the little weather status of the application. So if we have storms or everything is sunny as it should. So again, if we exit to see the map, we can see them. We have our information, we have our little all our applications that are running, the billings and etc. And well, they are in a little storm, they have little alerts. So we can see them very clearly, very easy what we do. But now let's say that you want to create something with, for example, a background image that you want to add, something like a map, and you want to add manually your different servers. So for that, we go to the media, and we're going to add an image that we're going to say is called the world map. So I'm going to select that one, and I'm going to submit. I'm just going to add them a little bit. And now I'm going to add, let's say, from my host group in Milan, I have one on, let's say, the firewall. I'm going to add the firewall. I'm going to show it here. So here I'm going to change to the last type, the style that we have. So we already saw the icon, we already saw the weather. Now it's going to be geometric. When it's geometric, it's just very simply just a little square with the status of the host. So for example, here we can select around, well, Milan should be around there. And again, if we save and exit, we're going to see the map with a little square for Milan, as it should be, and it's there to see. And now, actually, there's another one. You can create multi-level maps in Centreon. So you can actually do drill downs on the information that you want to see, so you can select and you can see more details about information. So let's do that. And for that, I'm going to add in the Centreon map, I have one that is called container. And I'm going to call it, let's say, I'm going to call it, change it to geometric. And I'm going to call it Acme Apps. I'm going to submit. I'm going to save. If I save and double click, we are going to get into a new map that we can create some information. So for example, here I'm going to make it very easy. I'm just going to add one image that is called Centreon. So it's just to show a little information here, nothing really important, but just to show you the different levels that you can have. So I'm gonna save and exit. And now, as you can see, I have this little container here, this icon. And if I click, I will go to that new map. And just like that, you can create multi-level, multi-tiered maps. So you can go for details, for information, more information that you might want to show. So that's a little quick view of the maps. As you can see, we created some very simple maps, but you can create more complex one with more details, with more more pretty ergonomics on our UI. So you can create them with just a little bit more effort and more details that you can create them. So that's perfect. Now let's see another type of map that we can create, which is the Geological Map, Geo Map. So I'm going to create a new map that I'm going to call Acme Geo, and I'm going to use the host groups, all my host group from Acme. So for example, London, Madrid, Paris, and Milan. Oh, sorry, it's not the agent monitoring, it's Acme. So I just add them, and as you can see, we already created a map. Well, this is a overview map, but we can just drill in and we can see the information, the geographic information is already shown for those host groups. So for example, here I can see that we have all the information from Paris in the Paris region with everything that we have. The only thing that you need to do this is to add the geographical data to the information. But if anything else, then it just works, it just plugs in as it should. So that's the last type of map that we can create with Centreon Maps. Now, as you can see, we might need some configuration before we start creating the maps. And for that, okay, let's go. First, as we saw with the geographical map, we need to add the geographical data for each one of the host group, host, or business view that we might want to add. So for that, we go to the configuration of each one of them. So for example, I go to the Acme London, and I can see, well, all the members of it, but more importantly, I can see the geographic coordinates of the maps. Of course, you can retrieve your maps, your coordinates as you wish, or in the system that you want, with as much precision as you want, and you can add them here so you can show them, and the map will create the geographical view. Another important view that we saw is when we were creating maps, we were using images. So maybe a background, maybe some logos, maybe something that we might want to add. So for that, we go on the administration page and we go to the image media. And here we can add or synchronize our media director. So we can have all the information that we need, so the backgrounds that we might want to use, etc., etc. So we can add them, we can search them, we can look at them here as we might need them. And with that, just now, I just want to show you a little bit more of examples that you can see with maps, so you can inspire yourself. We can see some examples. So for example, you can see the IT health of excuse me, the overview. So you can see, for example, here that we can select our different silos. We are using our weather like icons to see the status of the different applications or the different verticals that we might have. And we also have those containers that are going to lead us to more information, to more views to see. So for example, here we're going to see the VM information about our hypervisor, and we can see all the details that we can, so the configuration, the usage, etc. with using the different gauges and the different views and icons, we can create this type of view. Also incrementing, receiving some text from the test that we're doing. So we can receive, for example, 3 VMs in critical, so we can add stuff like this. Another type of view that we might want to see is, for example, something with a map, with a background. So we can see this example of a supermarket in which we use the image of the supermarket, and then we just add on top of them, for example, all the cameras where they're going to be, and these are their IDs. So we can see quickly what's their status, how they're doing, and how you can see them. So that is very important as well. You can show them very visually like this. And another type of view, the type of view that we saw earlier as well, is the topology view. So here, for example, we can select this is the topology view. So let's see the topology view, and we can see as well all the details that we can go through, for example, all the different icons, all the different routers, switches, firewalls, etc., their connection, their traffic between them, the links, especially like we did on the beginning, just of course with more details, more information that we can build. And with that, we see everything that we need to see. As you can see, it's very easy to use. It's very intuitive and very graphical. Just click and drop and all the information that you might require in your systems. And that's it. So thank you very much for your patience in watching this video. If you want more information, you can go to our Centreon official YouTube channel. You will have more videos of me or other of my colleagues explaining other subjects or talking about other subjects. You can also go to The Watch, which is our community website, and you can ask for information, ask for ideas, share ideas about new things that you might want in your Centreon. Or if you want to have a full demo, you can contact us on the Centreon website, and you can see all the information that we have. You can actually request a demo for a pre-sales, so someone like me or my colleagues that will give you a full detailed information, and we can have a discussion on this subject. So thank you very much again, and see you next time.